Pentagon officials here in Washington already know who won that $35 billion tanker contract, but it looks like that announcement will remain secret until the very end. A huge disappointment for the Mobile aerospace community, the port city, and for EADS North America. U2 stage will be here underneath the claw. There will be giant screens that will be set up that will rotate all the way around, so no matter where you are in the stadium, you've got good seats. The Mobile Bay Bears looking to get back on the winning track tonight. This is not just tar balls that have washed ashore. This is heavy, thick oil as far as the eye can see. But we are starting to see that storm surge come in here in Biloxi. We're only about 2 miles from Dolphin Island, and from what we can see, it looks all right now. There's no sheen, there's no oil. The Coast Guard has been out farther than that, but they say they haven't spotted anything either. Well, Devin, this is what we know right now. Mobile police say a suspect walked into this bank you see behind me here around 11 a.m. this morning and fired 2 shots into the ceiling, demanded cash, and took off. We wanted to put Goodson's idea to the test, so here we go. We got our water, we got our oil, and we've got our hay. Let's see what happens.
We poured in the oil, gave it a good stir, then in goes the hay.
It looks like the hay worked. It got most of the oil out of the water. There is still a little bit of sheen left. Guys, you may have heard over the years about those chickenpox parties where parents purposely expose kids to others, thinking better they get exposed earlier than later, or maybe they didn't want the vaccine. Well, this is that concept taken to an extreme. Mail-order diseases. Experts say it's dangerous for the families involved and for the unsuspecting people around them.
Absolutely horrified to hear stories like that.
What horrified this top state health official were Facebook postings like these. Fresh batch of pox in Nashville looking for measles and mumps. All around was FedEx from Arizona. We've spread cooties to Cookeville, Knoxville, and Louisiana, and more. Our investigation started with this Facebook page, Find a Pox Party in Your Area. But this is no party, it's an underground trade where parents get on Facebook looking for a virus. When they find a match, they sometimes offer to make a charitable donation, trade or buy and sell. Contaminated spit, often carried on candy, Q-tips or washcloths. And you're about to see who we found in Nashville doing it.
Have you been shipping it in the past, contaminated bodily fluids to other states?
Ship suckers.
One woman writes, has anyone had success sharing the chicken pox with someone out of state by sending them something in the mail? In the same thread, another post. That's actually a federal offense. There's even a how-to guide. It reads, tuck it inside a Ziploc baggie, then put it in the envelope. Don't put anything identifying it as pox. Their groups claim they want to build their children's lifelong immunities without vaccines.
Exposing your children to a potentially serious or even fatal disease, which is virtually completely preventable by a really safe vaccine, is inexcusable.
This is obviously an unregulated product that's being bought and sold. We would have no idea what's even in this.
One of the names on these Facebook postings is Wendy Workett of Nashville. You could see her post says, fresh batch of pox in Nashville, shipping of suckers, spit, and Q-tips available tomorrow, $50.
I'm Kimberly Curth with Channel 4 News. Tell us about that, those lollipops, right?
Yes, they were sucked on by my kids.
And why would you do that?
So that other people's kids can't get chicken pox. It's not, they can't get them the normal way anymore of just naturally catching and naturally getting the immunity for life.
I see that you're charging $50.
I didn't make any money off of it. It was just the overnight shipping fee. It had to get there within 24 hours.
Are you at all concerned about your children's health or the health of other children?
I'm not concerned about my children's health. No, I'm not. It's the other parent's choice what to do with their children.
Tennessee's state epidemiologist says this affects more than just the parents who ordered the shipment.
If a child who is exposed and has the disease were to spread this unknowingly, hopefully unknowingly, to someone in their church, to someone in their school, they can transmit the disease that way. And if it's a child who couldn't be vaccinated because of medical reason or who's on chemotherapy for cancer, and were to get this disease and die from it, I mean, that's just completely unconscionable.
And then there's the possibility of a host of other infections.
You might be making a choice to avoid chickenpox, but do you know that there's not hepatitis, that there's not, that the other person didn't have HIV?
Then there's the question of whether this is even legal. Soon after Channel 4 News started making inquiries to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nashville, U.S. Attorney Jerry Martin urgently wanted to do an on-camera interview to warn the public against this.
Is what we found happening a criminal offense?
If you are seeking to expose someone to a virus or an infectious disease and you use the U.S. mail or you otherwise use the interstate commerce by sending something over state lines, then you're potentially exposing yourself to criminal prosecution.
How important is it that we caught this happening?
The message ought to be loud and clear to individuals who attempt to engage in this behavior that the federal government and the Department of Justice takes a very dim view to violating any federal laws, but certainly laws that put public safety and public health at risk.
And what's the message for anyone involved in this trade?
There's no excuse for behavior like this.
What would you say to anybody taking part in this?
I would tell them they need to stop, and they need to stop immediately.
In the last few days, we found a new posting on that Facebook page where this is all happening. Find a pox party in your area. It reads, a new private group only members can see will help to keep out unwanted viewers. Well, we had an exclusive one-on-one interview with EADS North America today about the Pentagon's announcement and whether or not they will protest the Air Force's decision. EADS North America is still trying to figure out what went wrong.
Our initial reaction was certainly disappointment for ourselves, but also for Mobile. I mean, we have a strong partnership with Mobile and feel that very personally.
We sat down with the company's spokesman for an exclusive one-on-one interview just one day after the Pentagon announced Boeing beat EADS in their bid to build refueling tankers for the Air Force.
I think what we can tell you is Boeing was a clear winner.
We were the only local crew at the Pentagon when that announcement was made. EADS was very confident that they had the better plane at the better price. Do you anticipate that they will protest? And if they do, what would that mean for the production timeline?
As I indicated, the unsuccessful offerer has the opportunity to pursue a protest if they think they have the grounds. We think we've put together a process that was fair, open, and transparent, and that does not provide grounds for a protest.
Will EADS protest this decision?
It's too premature to say. I mean, right now, first of all, we have to understand, how did the process unwind? Do we have any questions or concerns? And frankly, can we, we'd like to understand more completely, how the decision was arrived at.
While EADS won't say whether or not they will protest until after that debriefing, they do tell us they want to know why Boeing was the clear winner. And my sources tell me that Pentagon debriefing will happen Monday. EADS will then have 10 days to decide whether or not they will protest the Air Force's decision to the Government Accountability Office. For now, reporting live from Washington, Kimberly Curth, News 5. Well, folks down here will tell you they never thought they would see anything worse than Hurricane Katrina, but they never expected to see an oil spill either. We talked with one bait shop owner who fears this catastrophe could do him in. Mac McRae's Pier and Bait Shop has taken a beating over the years thanks to hurricane after hurricane. Katrina wiped him out.
Nothing was left except a few pilots gathered around.
But Mac was able to rebuild.
In about a week, you're going to see all over the place.
This time, he doesn't think he'll be able to get back on his feet.
I looked out and I said, the weather's bad, looks like a hurricane, but the thing about Katrina and all of them that were coming this way, I knew in 4 or 5 months I'd be back up and running.
Like a hurricane, Mac knows it's not a matter of if, but when the oil makes landfall.
I'm scheduled to have a boom around the pier, but when you have seas that are 2 to 3 feet, the boom is not going to do any good. And if they don't shut that valve off, I mean, this is beyond catastrophic. It's going to devastate so many people. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Generations and generations of fishermen, oystermen.
Do you think you're going to lose your business to this?
Oh, yes. And the thing about it, I have 3 large SBA loans that are drafted out of my account each month. And I don't know what, I don't want to go there because it's too tough.
The thought brings him to tears.
Get your fishing pole.
So for now, he's just going to enjoy the livelihood he loves so much while he still can.
And Mac is not the only one who is worried. Just down the road in Heron Bay, you will find a similar story. Another bait shop owner who has had to rebuild his shop 4 times because of hurricanes. Now he is once again concerned for the future of his business. We will hear from him coming up tonight later in our show. For now, reporting live from Cedar Point, Kimberly Curth, News 5.